According to a statement from the University Archive, Glowing Symphony was initially approved for a 30-day window in late 2016, but a July 2017 administrative message extended the operation, and it was unclear if it is continuing. The documents released under a Freedom of Information Act request reveal the unprecedented complexity of the operation, resulting challenges in coordination and deconfliction, and assessments of effectiveness, the GWU Archive said. The hacking operation represents the U.S. response to concerns about how extremist groups had been using social media and online services to promote their cause, often seeking to spread propaganda for recruitment and radicalization. The newly created U.S. Combatant Command focused on space has passed its initial combat test, according to officials and experts. Early warning capabilities belonging to the command helped detect recent Iranian ballistic missile launches at U.S. bases in Iraq, contributing to an early warning advantage for troops on the ground. In a statement to military.com earlier this week, U.S. Space Command officials pointed to the vast array of interlocking space and ground sensors, mostly inherited from the Air Force, that are now in the command's domain. The capabilities serve to detect and track ballistic missiles worldwide. Officials did not, however, specify which particular system first picked up the launches, but U.S. officials speaking on background and several experts said the first signs of a launch almost certainly came from the Space-Based Infrared System (SBIRS), a capability generated by 4 satellites operated by the 460th Space Wing at Buckley Air Force Base in Colorado. In the SPACECOM statement, a spokesperson for the new command described in general terms the multitude of systems that contribute to worldwide missile warning and detection capabilities to protect the nation and deployed troops. Related, 11 troops injured in Iranian missile attack on Iraq base. In its mission, the new command coordinated with the Missile Warning Center, the Joint Overhead Persistent Infrared Planning Center, the Combined Space Operations Center, and the Joint Tactical Ground Stations deployed by the Army to provide worldwide theater ballistic missile warning and enhanced infrared coverage, the spokesperson said. On January 9, the day after Iran launched 16 ballistic missiles at 2 bases in Iraq housing U.S. and Iraqi troops, President Donald Trump said simply that U.S. troops were protected by an early warning system that worked very well. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, said the missile launches were a slap in the face to the U.S. In response to the January 5 drone strike at Baghdad's international airport that killed Iranian Quds Force leader Qasem Soleimani, Defense Secretary Mark Esper and Joint Chiefs Chairman General Mark Milley said that Iran fired a total of 16 missiles, of which 4 failed in flight. 11 hit Al-Assad airbase in Iraq's Anbar province, and 1 hit an open field in Erbil in the northern autonomous Kurdish region. The initial reports were that there were no deaths or injuries to U.S. troops, but Dudi announced Friday that 11 troops at Al-Assad had suffered concussive effects from the missile blasts and were evacuated to Landstuhl, Germany, as a precautionary move to check for possible traumatic brain injury. All were expected to return to duty, Dudi said, although SPACECOM would not name the system that first detected the launches. The initial warning absolutely came from the 460th Space Wing, which queued up that information for other systems to track the path of the missiles, said Ricky Ellison, chairman of the Missile Defense Advocacy Alliance. Any ballistic missile of any range will have a heat signature that's going to be picked up by multiple infrared systems in the U.S. inventory, said Thomas Caraco, director of the Missile Defense Project at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. The capability is certainly there for SBIRS to detect the launches, he added. That's why we have it in the first place. While SBIRS would have picked up the ballistic missile launches, the system would have been less likely to have detected the surface-to-air missile launch that brought down Ukrainian International Airlines Flight 752, said Adam Mount, director of the Defense Posture Project at the Federation of American Scientists. Iran has called the shootdown, which resulted in the deaths of all 176 aboard, a tragic mistake. The short flight path and attitude of the surface-to-air missile would have made it less visible to the U.S. satellite configurations, Mount said. Officials with the 460th Space Wing at Buckley Air Force Base referred questions on the missile launches to SPACECOM. But the Wing's website said the 460th provides combatant commanders with worldwide missile warning and global situational awareness. The Wing operates the Defense Support Program, dating back to the 1970s. In addition to SBIRS, the website said, once the missiles were launched, there was little U.S. troops could do but get to bunkers and wait out the attack. On the night of the attacks, Defense Secretary SBIRS said in a gaggle with Pentagon reporters that we had a heads up in the sense that our warning systems and all those things were activated and watching, and were able to give a sufficient warning. He declined comment on whether the U.S. had any capabilities in the region that may have intercepted the missiles, but U.S. officials said there are no Army Patriot or THAAD terminal high-altitude area defense anti-missile systems in Iraq. Analysts Caracco and Ellison also said there are no Patriot or THAAD systems in Iraq, and attributed the absence of the systems to the high demand for their presence elsewhere. They can't be everywhere at once, Caracco said.